66 million years ago, everything changed. In a single day, the dinosaurs' world ended. This is the story of their final hours, the impact, and the world that rose from extinction. Imagine the world before that day. The sun had risen over a planet very different from the one we know now. Vast forests, sprawled across continents, ancient ferns and massive conifer trees shrouded the landscape. In a tapestry of green, the air was thick with warmth and life. Insects buzzed, amphibians croaked, and above all, dinosaurs roamed. This was the late Cretaceous period. The Earth was richer, denser, and louder than almost any era that would follow. Giant sauropods the size of apartment buildings walked in, lumbering herds. Predators with teeth like daggers paced through jungles and plains. Smaller creatures flitted between shadows, surviving on instinct and cunning. In the skies, enormous flying reptiles carved arcs against the blue, riding thermal winds. In the oceans, marine reptiles chased schools of fish, their powerful tails cutting through water like blades. Everywhere you looked, there was movement, life, competition, survival. To them, the world seemed timeless. On that morning, a family of hadrosaurs emerged from the forest to drink at a freshwater lake. Their long necks dipped into calm water, reflections shimmering in the early light. Nearby, a pair of juvenile raptors chased each other in playful mock combat, their claws clicking against the earth. A lone Tyrannosaurus rex rested in the shade, muscles tense. Even in stillness, eyes tracking every movement within its domain. There was no reason for any of them to sense danger. Not lightning, not earthquakes, not change. They had lived like this for generations, millennia beyond counting. The rhythms of their lives were paced by food, water, mating, hunger, and instinct. Then, without warning, the sky changed. A blazing streak of light cut across the horizon, brighter than the sun, moving faster than anything seen before. A rock of unimaginable size traveling through space for millions of years was on a collision course with Earth. In the sky, it was a distant spark. On the ground, it was the beginning of the end. The impact came without sound at first. The first real indication that something was wrong was the blinding flash of light that turned night into day for a moment, brighter than 1,000 suns. Even the distant mountains trembled. The Earth convulsed. At the collision point, temperatures soared to levels hotter than the surface of the sun. Rock vaporized instantly. Fire erupted. A shock wave traveled outward, tearing through the atmosphere and striking every living creature in its path. Trees were uprooted. Riverbanks collapsed. Huge waves in inland seas surged outward in walls taller than buildings. Near the impact, entire ecosystems were vaporized instantly. Creatures that walked, swam, and flew were gone within seconds. But the catastrophe did not remain local. A wave of devastation spread across the planet. Craters formed, volcanoes already restless before the impact roared to life. Earthquakes shook continents you would one day call Asia, Africa, Europe, and the Americas. Everywhere the ground fractured, mountains shuddered, and fire lit up the skies. The immediate devastation was unfathomable, but what came next was even worse. Billions of tons of dust, ash, and pulverized rock were thrown high into the atmosphere. As this cloud spread around the globe, it blocked sunlight. Without sunlight, the Earth began to cool. Photosynthesis stopped, and with it, the very foundation of survival for plants. Within weeks, shades of dark gray covered the sky. A deep chill settled over the planet. Temperatures plummeted. Winters lasted not months, but years. Many dinosaurs relied on rich vegetation to survive. When sunlight vanished, plants could not grow. Leaves withered. Forests shrank. The oceans turned cold. And as plants died, herbivores starved. When herbivores died, their predators had nothing left to hunt. The cycle of life that had dominated Earth for millions of years collapsed. But extinction is a process, not an instant event. Some dinosaurs did not die at the moment of impact. Some survived for years or even decades, struggling in a world that no longer had seasons, only an endless, cold twilight. Smaller creatures that lived in burrows beneath ground or near the poles had a different challenge. For them, survival meant finding food where there was none and enduring long, dark periods without warmth. Some did. Small mammals, tiny, unassuming creatures crawled through tunnels and holes, scraping together whatever scraps they could find. They ate insects, decaying plants, even dirt if they had to. Those that found ways to adapt lasted longer. This adaptation over time became their strength. Bird-like dinosaurs too survived. Their feathers and abilities to fly helped them move between microclimates, seeking pockets of warmth and light. These ancestors of modern birds had characteristics that would grant them a place in the world after the age of giants was gone. The earth was broken, but not barren. Volcanic eruptions contributed ash and toxic elements to the atmosphere. Oceans became acidic. Entire ecosystems were destroyed. But life, deep in pockets on land and sea, clung on. The darkness that covered the earth eventually lifted. Millennia passed. The heavy clouds that once blocked the sun began to thin. The planet warmed again. Seeds protected beneath. Ground sprouted. Forests returned, slower at first, then spreading green across continents. Life found new pathways to thrive. Insects reappeared in bright swarms. Tiny reptiles emerged from cracks in the earth. Fish reclaimed rivers and seas. Mammals, once small and fragile, grew in size and complexity. Evolution, that slow dance of change, resumed anew. These new mammals filled ecological niches left empty by the dinosaurs. They diversified into forms that could run, climb, swim, burrow, and adapt. The survivors wrote a new chapter. Over millions of years, descendants of these early mammals walked on two legs, learned to shape tools, to think, to question. Their brains grew more complex. Their societies took shape. In time, one species among them became something entirely different. That species looked back at the world that had existed before it. It dug into the earth and found bones, giant, colossal bones, taller than a man, longer than a bus. Fossils whispered, stories of beasts once great and terrifying. These remains became echoes of a world long gone, but never forgotten. The dinosaurs did not disappear because they were weak or inferior. They disappeared because the rules of existence changed faster than any creature could adapt. Their extinction was not a failure, it was a reset. And from that reset came possibilities that no one could have anticipated. The world that rose after the days of fire, ash, and cold was not the same world the dinosaurs had known. It was a world reborn, where life was more resilient, more varied, and more adaptable. Forests became richer. Oceans thrived with new forms of life. The skies welcomed not only ancient flyers, but creatures with feathers and songs, descendants of dinosaurs themselves. And on land, mammals grew in body and mind until one stood up, looked at the horizon, and asked questions no creature had asked before. Who were those giants? Why had they vanished? Could anything so powerful ever return? These questions have echoed through every fossil ever found. They have driven scientists to dig deeper, to study longer, to piece together the final days of a species that once ruled every corner of the earth. And yet the story they left behind is not one of failure. It is not one of weakness. It is one of sudden transformation. The dinosaurs did not disappear because they were flawed. They were strong. They were adaptive. They dominated for over 160 million years. But in the end, they faced something they couldn't predict and couldn't fight. An impact that changed the atmosphere, destroyed ecosystems, and rewrote the rules of survival overnight. No creature, no matter how advanced or powerful, was prepared for that. But while the age of the dinosaurs ended, life did not. Life shifted. It moved underground. It flew into the sky. It crept along the edges of a broken world and started again. Small. Mammals that once lived in shadows emerged from hiding. They reproduced quickly. They adapted to new diets, new climates, and new pressures. They found ways to thrive where giants had fallen. Birds descended from feathered dinosaurs, adapted to the new world as well. They built nests in burned-out forests and hunted in lands that no longer echoed with the footsteps of titans. As time passed, these survivors began to fill the empty spaces. Evolution took over, and slowly new species emerged. The earth healed in waves. The oceans settled. The forest returned. Volcanic skies cleared and light came back. The temperature stabilized, and with it, a new version of the planet began to grow. Over tens of millions of years, the small mammals that had once scurried through roots evolved into a wide range of creatures. Some lived in trees. Some walked on open plains. Some learned to work in groups. Some developed larger brains. Eventually, they stood upright, and from them came us. We now walk on the same ground the dinosaurs once ruled. We explore the places they lived. We uncover their fossils. We give names to their bones. And with every discovery, we build a clearer picture of a world that came before ours. The extinction of the dinosaurs was not the end of the story. It was the beginning of a new one. It reset life on Earth. It allowed for change on a scale that would have been impossible. Otherwise, in losing one world, the planet made space for another. And in that space, we eventually arrived. Today, we live in a world shaped by that extinction. The air we breathe, the animals we no, even the plants that surround us all exist because of what came after that impact. And as we study the past, we begin to understand how fragile the present really is. No age lasts forever. No species, no matter how dominant, is guaranteed to remain. The dinosaurs were not defeated by predators or competition. They were undone by circumstances beyond their control, and the only reason we are here to study them is because the life that followed adapted fast enough to survive. Their story is not just history, it is a reminder, a warning, and a responsibility. We now have the power to understand these events, to prepare for them, to recognize the signs of change. But we also carry the responsibility of remembering what came before us and what could come after. 66 million years ago, the world changed in a single moment. The age of the dinosaurs ended, and in its place, a new world began, one that would lead to the rise of mammals, the birth of human civilizations, and the ability to look back through time. And so we continue the story not with bones, but with questions, not with roars, but with memory. If this story moved you, if it helped you see the past in a new way, or reminded you how connected we are to everything that came before, then stay with us. Subscribe to this channel for more journeys into deep time, into ancient Earth, and into the events that shaped life as we know it. Because the more we understand the past, the better prepared we are for the future. And this story, the story of life, extinction, and survival, is far from over. We're just getting started.